We spent a week with 2 tank crews from Charlie 164 Armor.
I think they've done an amazing job. I am proud of those guys, very proud.
Just getting ready, preparing for the shot, to get a shot to go to the Sullivan Cup. I have learned probably more in these last few weeks than any other training exercise I've done combined.
We met Team Cannonarchy and Team Count Tracula, and they went head-to-head for 6 weeks.
I'm getting the chance to represent an entire division. I'm really grateful for the opportunity. It's really humbling.
Competition brings out excellence.
That's driving us, we're driving them, and it's all in the spirit of competition to make a better team.
These guys want to be the best.
I'm ready. I've been waiting for this moment.
But in the end, only one team gets to go to the Sullivan Cup.
They've wrapped their head around this.
We're getting an opportunity here to show that we are the best in the world.
You get to play on the big boy platform.
This is the Super Bowl of tanks.
They want this.
This isn't your mama's table 6 qualification. And this is a test to get after the best tank crew in the United States Army. We're going to push everybody to the limits. We're going to make it physically demanding. We're going to test your cognitive skills when you get out on the sticks exercises to make sure you know how to do the basic functions it takes to be a tanker. And then we're going to make sure you can come out here and hit what you shoot at.
All the way.
Sergeant Fauntleroy's crew was picked to represent the 3rd ID. The way the Sullivan Cup works is you show up, they issue you a tank, and you use it to compete in a series of events for points.
So the only points you care about are to get into the top 4. After that, nobody cares about your points because the shoot-off is the only thing that matters. The shoot-off determines who is the Sullivan Cup winner.
So take us through the competition. Briefly, the different stations, what they do, and how to get to that last phase.
Well, first they have competition, which they call Day 0. Was Sunday. That was the armor crewman proficiency test.
It starts off with an ammunition lift. To get 100 points, you need to do it 45 times, and I only can do it 36.
Come on, Martin! Come on! Come on, one more! Stop!
Track block shuffle, it's 20 meters. You take 10 track blocks, you move them back and forth. Then you have a cable drag for 15 meters. You drag the cable, pick it up, and you just run back. Then you have a road wheel roll for 240 meters, basically a baseball diamond. And then you finish off with a 1-mile run.
And they posted the 2nd best crew score, so we finished in 2nd place. The Mounted Sticks Lane comprised of a land navigation course, and there were 5 stations within the land navigation course.
Your time begins now.
The first station was their start point, and that was prepare for combat. They prepped their vehicle, got ready, and then they moved out, and OC followed them.
And then things got interesting. Their tank broke down.
Basically, we started our movement once we got up here to this intersection. We was doing a little tactical pause just to make sure our bearings were good. And a lot of times, sometimes with certain problems that the tank may run into, it'll self-abort itself. Pretty much like a, I guess, self-preservation, if you will.
Essentially, it was the tank's check engine light coming on.
Yeah, this is where the fault showed up again. It's not showing up. There it goes. It's back.
So they did some troubleshooting.
I think we good.
And eventually they had to pull over and just wait for another tank.
These aren't their tanks. They literally jumped on this tank a couple of hours ago, so tanks break down. It is what it is.
Hey, grab the 50.
They eventually had to transfer all their gear, and they got back to work.
They dealt with the little 3-hour hiccup And then they moved on. They got to their next station, which was maintenance. They had to break and replace a 2-block section of track. They got beat on time on that one. They still got 60 points because they were doing pretty well. They found all the rest of their land nav points, and it got really late. It was about 2000, 2030. By the time they got to the medical sticks lane.
Just run over there. Black 6, white 3.
He's not breathing and he's showing no signs of life.
And they executed, got 88 points on that, did really well.
Case is by president.
We went up to Station 5, which is again at the cantonment area, and they did vehicle ID, and that was pretty rough. But they kicked the 4th station right in the seat. It was Occupy a BP. Did really well, and they got 100 points on their land nav as well. So.
At the end of the day, they had 811 out of 1,000 points. And going into the gunnery, they were in 10th place out of 16 crews. The digital multi-purpose range complex at Fort Benning is impressive, and it'll test any tanker.
This is not like any other range that I've ever been on. It is not a bowling alley. It is not flat terrain. And so it's forcing these crews, and it forces our future leaders to completely expand everything that they know about tank gunnery.
Gunnery is one of the crew's strengths, and this is where all that degraded training at Fort Stewart hopefully would pay off.
Family members perform. If at any point during the day,
Gunner ready. Gunner ready. TT is ready.
Right now, they'll do the PC tank RPG team, degraded mode, and then they'll do their call for fire. Who you'll have coming up right now, as you see approaching the BP, is 164 Armor. So if we have any 164 Armor fans right here, here you go. Your chance to cheer for them.
Identify tank. Tank. Drive, move up. Drive fire, he can adjust. On the way. On, driver back, engine deck. I got the PC. 3. And he's fired. China into white 3. Be advised, engage destroyed 1 tank, and we have a round stuck in the tube at the sun.
I overheard you talking about 164. What is it you said about that?
They were having mechanical issues. They took them back to the room.
Nothing they could fix out there?
No.
So our crews out there, they got 1 round off, and now they've had a malfunction. What we don't know is if they're going to be given an alibi, which means if it was a fault that was something they couldn't prevent, they'll give them an alibi, and this won't count against them. If it's something that they caused, it counts against them. So not a great start to the gunnery, but it's what happens. It's part of being a tanker, and I think that what they learned through all the training is that you've got to be able to adapt to this. So we're waiting to find out what's going to happen.
What if I came out, I swear.
This was yet another setback, but our guys put their time to good use to make sure they were ready if they get another shot.
Yeah, that mound is gone.
Try it again.
So we got good news today. Our team found out they got an alibi. And that means that when the round got stuck in the breech, it was determined that it wasn't the crew's fault. So that means they got to start fresh. And they went out and they shot really well, took 2nd place out of all the teams, and that's kind of like breathing new life into them. So we're here now at 10 o'clock, and our crew's actually out on the range doing a night fire. We also heard you guys took 2nd in the day run?
Second highest score in the day run.
Yeah. You did a good run on the night?
Could have been better if I had just trusted in my TC more. I couldn't identify a truck and troop target, but he could, so
Pretty van again.
It is what it is. I mean,
I think Corona's beating himself up a little bit. They had their last engagement was they fire off some flares to simulate that they're being fired on, and he didn't see them. They're in it to win it, and they're working through the challenges, And tomorrow's the last day to give it their all and see where the cards lay after that.
Think about the crew that wins this thing when they go home and they turn around and say, you know what, we won this, and this is how we did it.
No way. No. They're in 3rd place, man. 3rd place? Dad, they came up from from 10th to 3rd. They got second best last night. Wow.
Back on the map. Back on the map.
Heard the good news, man.
Yes, we're here.
Yeah. So today you just got to go do what you do.
Yeah. Got three engagements. 3 engagements to solidify our position in the top 4. And it's game on.
I know you're excited, but you know, having followed you guys, we're stoked. You know, going into the final gunnery, they were confident, they were focused. You know, barring any major malfunction, they should make the top 4.
Looking at that, I don't have any affirmative things to say that why you missed those targets.
If you're good at reading facial expressions, their faces speak volumes.
4 seconds when you moved up to engage, getting a doubtful left. Over on target 2 at 14, they backed down at 16.
Phrases like doubtful left and over or short are not what a tanker wants to hear in an AAR.
They got it over on target 3.
It means they missed.
Points on the first engagement, 0 and 0 on the next 2 engagements. Okay, giving you a total for the day, 50 points.
And that's out of a possible 300.
All right, I'm going to put you guys on a little break.
Sergeant First Class Matt Nygren delivered the news with as much encouragement as he could. The wait now was to see if they'd go home.
No news is good news right now. We're waiting on 2 more crews to finish their AARs and the final scores to come in to notify you on the points. That's how tight this competition's getting.
What's the field looking like?
I can't say it. I'm just gonna tell you, no news right now is good news because that means we're not sending you out the door right now.
All right, we are back at the hotel and we are waiting for news. Today was a crazy day. It was a roller coaster ride. When we arrived this morning, our guys that we knew were in 10th place. And it's actually on the way out that we were checking the Facebook site and found out that because of their night gunnery, they had moved to 3rd place. So the last phase was today, and that was their last day gunnery, and they did not do well. So, you know, we're waiting to hear, you know, whether they make the top 4, because the top 4 is where they need to be able to compete in the gunnery tomorrow. And if we don't hear tonight, then you know we'll just find out on. Wait a minute. They said they might text us tonight, so give me a sec. This could be it.
I think everybody who is still in the Army has an obligation to make sure that we continue to be adaptive and innovative and continue to strive for excellence. So if we can instill that in our junior ranks and the soldiers that are coming through this competition, think about that 16 crews that now can go home to 16 different places and talk about what it takes to be the best here.
So there was a tie for 4th place, which means 5 crews went to the shoot-off. And our guys, they missed it by 1 shot.
I have a better picture of exactly what we need to do to truly become more proficient armor crewmen.
We're a bad tank crew. I learned that. We're better than we thought we were.
Really, this competition is about seeding excellence or planting the seeds of excellence in the tank community.
A great honor to come down here and compete for the best, and I mean, I'll be back in 2 years. I'm going to win in 2 years. That's what I'm taking out of it, motivation to come back.
It's a great experience. I mean, in my eyes, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I mean, it's not every day that you're going to go somewhere and have a best tank competition and your name just so happen to pop up.
Any team that goes is exposed to the training and all these other great tank crews and the competition that make them better tankers as a whole. Yeah, you have a winner, but everybody that comes is better for it.
It helped our resilience a lot overall. It helped my resilience a lot. I'm a pretty resilient person before this, but this made me even stronger with this competition.
I was honored to be in a position to give the best of the best a run for their money. I was honored to be in a position where the best of the best were like, oh man, we got to watch out for those guys from 3rd ID.
When you tell stories like this, you always hope your team's going to win, and our guys didn't. But I wouldn't have it any other way, because what we saw is the level of resiliency, and that these guys, no matter what, they kept running hard after their goal. I mean, that's what it's about. It's about not quitting. It's about perseverance. and they showed us the best of that.